to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live. This is episode 76. Tonight, I have the incredibly talented and beautiful singer, songwriter, guitarist Caroline Sky. She was on The Voice as well as American Idol, and she has a new single dropping tomorrow. So I'm really excited to talk to Caroline about all of her music. She just joined the chat, and I'm going to invite her in. Hi guys, how's your night? Hi Caroline.
Hi, Ash. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How's your night going?
Much better now that I'm doing a live stream.
Yes. So I just wanted to invite you into the room, and I was telling everyone you've been on The Voice, American Idol, you have an incredible new single dropping tomorrow. But I wanted to start off the show with a song lyric. So tonight's song lyric is going to be from Rise Up by Andra Day. And I'm just going to say some of the lyrics, and then I'm going to get your take on it. Sound good?
Amazing.
Cool. You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. And you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out.
I love that song.
It's
I sang that on American Idol.
yeah,
And yeah, I love that song. I think the message is so amazing and just about the power of music, like
right.
it really speaks to, I don't know, like our resilience, I guess. Yeah, I love that song. Andra Day is phenomenal.
Yeah. Did you see the Billie Holiday movie?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think about it?
Did. She's so talented.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's absolutely incredible.
yeah, she's
So let's start at childhood. Who inspired you to get into music, and how old were you?
So my dad actually was in a band in the 80s, so he was always really into the music scene. And he taught me how to play guitar when I was a kid. He showed me my first chords.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, he was a really big part of my kind of musical inspiration. He used to wake me up in the morning by playing James Taylor and Elvis Costello over the loudspeakers in our house.
What?
Actually, kind of a nice way to wake up, a little
Oh
bit.
my gosh, it's the perfect alarm in the morning.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, that was kind of my intro to music. I grew up singing in like choirs my whole life, so I'm classically trained.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, my dad was like my number one intro to music.
I love that. So, James Taylor, who else would he play for you on guitar?
Carole King, Joni Mitchell, Carly Simon,
Mhm.
a lot of those like 60s, 70s folk artists. So I grew up kind of with that songwriting style as well. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, he introduced me to a lot of different music. A lot of Otis Redding, Etta
Mhm.
James, and like old soul music too.
Mhm.
I was
Beautiful.
really from a
Yeah,
young.
all the legendary musicians, because when you talk about James Taylor, Joni Mitchell, all those people, they're phenomenal songwriters.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that was the thing that I connected to the most was like how you tell a story through a song.
Right.
Uh, People think. So yeah, that was my foundation, and I'm glad that my parents had the music taste they did because it definitely informed my writing later on.
Yeah, it's incredible because you think of the music that you grew up with in the house, and to have that, all those people to look up to. Like, it's not like they were just playing like a one hit wonder. Like, they are playing the greats. So, I mean, that's your music school, if you will, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I went to Catholic school too, so like I was learning the hymns and like the choral, that type of like music. So
Mhm.
getting to listen to different stuff at home was definitely a great thing for me.
Definitely. So your music has been best described as a beautiful mix of country, pop, and R&B, pulling inspiration from Tori Kelly and Ariana Grande. How would you describe your music?
It's really tough. I think, I don't know, it's tough to even try to like describe. I mean, every artist has their defining qualities, and I think for me, it would be like an emphasis on songwriting, emphasis on like soulful music in general, just something that really connects to people.
Yeah.
And I think that expands across all sorts of different genres. Um, yeah, but I draw influence from a lot of people, from like the older musicians I was talking about to new people. Like I really like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I think she does a really good job of fusing like folk with like some neo soul and stuff. So I really like artists that do that, that are like really cross genre,
Hmm.
um, so it can, you know, reach a very wide audience.
Yeah. And I definitely, when I listen to your music, I hear elements of Tori Kelly. I hear a little Ariana Grande. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Like, there's like all these little nuances in your voice and your songwriting abilities. I'm like, oh yeah, I hear that and I hear that. And so for you to be that mix is really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I try to learn from as many people as I can.
Yeah, I love that. Talk to me about your creative process.
So for songwriting, I usually will start out with like a chord progression and
Hmm.
then find a melody that works and kind of screw around. For me, it's the hardest to write songs when I'm trying to write a song.
Hmm.
Like I go into like my room and I start jamming and my goal is like, oh, I need to write a song and I have a deadline coming up.
Yeah.
It's really tough for me to like actually come up with anything that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me it's like it works best when I just have an idea like right before I go to bed, or you know, when something just will come to me as opposed to like sitting down and like really trying to make something happen, because when you force things doesn't it doesn't work. So for me it's more about like going with my organic like emotions, how I'm feeling that day, and kind of writing based on that. So
Hmm. Now, as far as lyrics go, do you write them down? Do you record them into a voice memo?
yeah, I used to have like a notebook, but I my mind so quickly about the lyrics that I like that I'm now just totally on a computer.
Yeah.
A bit of a fraud doing it electronically, but um, yeah, that's the way I do it now.
Hey, but whatever works for you, because I feel like all artists have different little things that they do. Like the inspiration can come from anywhere, the lyrics can come from anywhere. Sometimes some people write them down, some people type them in their phone, some people sing them into their phone. So it's really cool to learn what each musician does.
Yeah, it's definitely a personal process, and I find that like when I'm trying to write songs with other people,
Yeah.
that that can oftentimes be the biggest barrier, is like
Mhm.
your creative process works.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
I've worked with amazing songwriters who are able to like line by line, they're like ready to go, and I need to like sit and like wait and hang out and, you know, go with the authentic kind of direction that I see it going. So it's
Yeah.
other people's processes as well.
Hmm. So as far as collaborations, is that something you enjoy doing, or do you prefer to just do your own thing by yourself?
Yeah, I love collaborating with people. I actually have a cover series that I've been doing throughout the pandemic called Caroline Covers,
Yeah.
where I've been to, you know, YouTube covers of popular songs. I grew up collaborating. I mean, I was classically trained, so it's all about singing with other people, blending, trying to work together as a team to like get the best rendition of that song possible. Um, so yeah, I really, really enjoy working with other people.
Hmm. So I want to talk about your first EP that came out in 2015. Bring us back to that moment in time and what the inspiration was behind that project.
Oh God. Well, in 2015, I was 15.
Yeah.
So that that EP was, I think it was very appropriate for where I was at the time.
Right.
Um, I had a lot of great musical mentors who had been working with me since I was, you know, a young teenager, who were kind of getting me ready for that.
Hmm.
But I mean, those songs I wrote when I was, you know, in a young high school mode. So I think they're very relatable to like that age group.
Right.
They're not songs that I actually have in my repertoire anymore.
Yeah.
But for me, it honestly was a growth period, like where I look at where I am now versus where I was with that EP.
Hmm.
really focused on like trying to make music that would just appeal to everybody, that like wouldn't offend anybody. That was basically my kind of subconscious goal, was like, oh, I just want to make a really wide-reaching, broad genre, and put that into an EP that like old people can listen to. My grandparents would love it, and
Yeah.
young and I think when you try to do that, then you lose some of the like authenticity of what makes you unique as an artist, and what you can find, a thread that connects you and your specific style to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, where I was in 2015 was very different than where I am now, but
Mhm.
glad that I have that point of reference to see how
Right.
far I've.
And you have to start somewhere. So it's kind of like, okay, where are you going to start? And I understand what you mean by not offending anyone. Like you want to appeal to the masses, right? Because you're like, okay, so this is like my first go into it. And then, now you look back on it and you're like, okay, but I had to start somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that growing experience. And then obviously it's been 6 years. So a lot of growth, a lot of songs, a lot of collaborations, and a lot of things have happened since then.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I know you're heavily inspired by Carole King.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about her influence on your music.
So yeah, Carole King has been a really big influence on me. I recently read her biography, and she started, I mean, she was writing some of her biggest hits when she was like 17 years old. And so I think that was a really big thing that inspired me about her, was like, oh my God, I can start writing really good songs, and I can start doing it now. I don't need to wait till I'm, Max Martin and I'm in my 50s writing, like ghost writing for Taylor Swift and all these people. Like,
Right.
to tell my story right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so, yeah, she's just been a really huge, influence on me, because I think her music is also really timeless. Like, and she's still performing and connecting with people. So I think that was a really big thing for me, was like the timelessness of her music, and
Right.
that I want to embody like throughout my career. So.
Yeah. That's so amazing. What other musicians inspire you?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I have a very long list. I think like currently some of my favorite people, definitely SZA, um,
Mm-hmm.
really influenced by her songwriting. I think she has a really creative approach to everything in her music.
Mm-hmm.
I find that she tends to like, at least how I hear it, is she will like have a melody and different rhythmic lyrics going on, and
Yeah.
then the music kind of falls in around her, but like she's clearly not writing around the music. Like she is the star of the show, and like everything else falls into place around her. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I appreciate about her. Um, I mean, obviously Ariana Grande, huge influence for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been following her since she was doing her, Broadway stuff, and
Yeah.
iCarly and Victorious and all that stuff.
Uh,
Um, yeah. So yeah, a lot of like R&B, neo soul, and pop, I think, are my biggest influences right now.
mm-hmm. What musicians would you most like to collaborate with?
Ooh, that's a great question. Honestly, I don't know if have you heard of Remy Wolf?
I've heard the name, but I'm not that familiar.
Yeah, so she's just been coming up on my Spotify Discover recently.
Ah,
Love her. Like she has so much energy and like a really unique vocal tone. I actually found out she was on American Idol and also didn't get aired, and like only made it in like 2 rounds, and now she's really, really making a name for herself. So yeah, Remy Wolf would be probably my number one right now.
oh, and you still have the American Idol, alum thing going on with her.
Yeah, exactly. We can bond. We can bond. Yeah.
So at 16 years old, you were featured on The Voice. What made you pick Will You Love Me Tomorrow for your blind audition?
Um, Honestly, they gave us the sheets of, the songs we were able to pick, and I saw Will You Love Me Tomorrow about, um, I think I might be frozen. Um, Sorry, I think I
No,
just
it's
had
okay.
you. Yeah, so I saw that on the song list and I immediately was like, oh my God, I know this song. I connect with this song. And I think there's something, she wrote that song when she was 17 and
Yeah.
I sang it when I was 16. And so I think there's so much like looking back, there's so much naivete about the lyrics of like, will you love me tomorrow? And it's kind of like asking and it's,
Yeah.
um, I mean, it's such a sad, like wholesome song that I think everyone can relate to. So yeah, it made a lot of sense for me to pick that looking back.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a timeless, beautiful song. So,
Oh, it's such a beautiful song, and you killed it.
oh, thank you. I actually had pneumonia during my during.
What?
Yeah, no, it was really horrible. I look back on that performance and I do a major like face palm. My mom was with me backstage and she's like, I'm like blowing my nose and like my 102-degree fever and she's like, if you don't get a chair turn, like that's okay. Don't worry, you're really sick. And I was so
Oh,
anything. I was like dead, but so
wow.
I appreciate you saying that because I didn't know about that performance.
But just to know that you were in pain, like you were sick, but you still rocked it.
Oh, thank you. Show must go on, right? I mean, I've
Yeah.
been in the hotel for 4 weeks getting ready for that performance, so I wasn't gonna be like, I'm too sick, I can't today. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I've talked to other people that have been on The Voice, and you just wait around until they tell you, okay, now it's your time to go.
Yeah, yeah, it's so much anticipation,
Right.
and the days, going up to when the audition period was, I could feel getting really ill, and I
Hmm.
was
Oh my gosh.
timing, the worst timing, but
Oh my gosh.
I made it.
You did make it because you had two people turn around for you, Gwen and Blake, but you ended up going with Gwen. What was it about Gwen that spoke to you more?
Well, number one, no disrespect to Blake Shelton at all, but I am not a fan of country music. Really. Like most country, I don't really like. I was raised in right outside of Boston and in San Francisco, so country music was not really a part of my musical upbringing at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I love Gwen Stefani. Like when I was a kid, I used to run around my room like singing "Hollaback Girl." So
Yeah.
yeah, she's an icon.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think you made a great choice because the thing is with Gwen is she loves working with young singers and she says that all the time. She's like, "Oh my God, the younger you are, like I just want to like mold you into this beautiful, talented singer-songwriter."
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she sees like a little bit of herself, especially like in the young female
Yeah.
candidates from what I've seen. Um, so I think she sees a real opportunity with younger musicians, which is
Mhm. What was it like working with Gwen?
she was awesome. I mean, it's always tough to meet famous people because you don't know like if they're gonna live up to the expectation that you have of them in your head. Um,
Yeah.
she was really kind. I mean, she's a mom, so like she's very kind, very patient. Um, yeah, and she gave me great pointers. I was 16, so I was pretty young, but I had just finished like 6 consecutive years of training in the San Francisco Girls Chorus, which was
Mhm.
like very kind of rigid environment.
Right.
And so her main feedback to me was like, you have to like feel this music a little bit more. Like you have to like step out of your comfort zone and like really get into the song, which
Mhm.
was it was very perceptive of her to like have picked up on that. Um, so yeah, I had a great experience working with her. Yeah, she's
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people on The Voice, the judges say that to the singers because it's like whatever song you're singing, like you need to get there. Like if you're singing a sad song, like think of that time that that guy broke your heart and you have to like transport yourself back to that time so you can feel every word because then it comes out a different way when you feel it, you live it and then all that passion comes out.
hmm Yeah, and that was tough to do because the song I was working on with her was "The First Cut Is the Deepest."
Right.
I was 16, so like the most heartbreak I'd had was like, my freshman crush
Yeah.
didn't really like you that much. So it, the emotional connection part of that was really tough for me. So, yeah, she did a great job of walking me through it and getting me to connect. So,
Uh-huh. What's something that surprised you about your time on The Voice?
I mean, honestly, just getting to see how the reality TV process works from the inside, it looks
Mhm.
so seamless and easy and fun and like
Yeah.
very polished when you watch it, but behind the scenes, it's like hours and hours of waiting and prepping and like faking conversations and walking down a lit hallway 8 times so they can get an angle. Like it was very illuminating to see the nuts and bolts of like
Yeah.
how this very polished, multi-million dollar TV show is produced.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was very surprising to me just like seeing the logistics of that, but not in a bad way, just
Yeah.
very illuminating. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you think of a TV show, it's like, oh, okay, they only showed, 2 minutes of my song, but you're like, oh no, I was up there for like a good 15 minutes. And so they
Yeah.
show like little tiny clips of things. And you're right, I've heard that before where they're like, oh yeah, can you just walk down this hallway? And you're like, I've done this 5 times. It feels very awkward. They're like, no, but just kind of like pretend like it's your first time, or like be sad, or
Yeah. Or like the thing before, they're like, now like look at your hands and look at yourself in the mirror and like really look nervous. It
yeah.
much of it is like you're being an actor basically.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
It's like okay, so you know how you feel when you first walk down that hall. But then they make you do it 7 times. And you're like, okay, but like the authentic part was going the first time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hallway too, they're like, and this is the where you're gonna walk on stage, and it's just a hallway. You're not walking on stage. You're not going anywhere. You're walking to the end of the hallway, and then your performance is actually tomorrow, but they have the footage of you walking to your performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's little stuff like that I'm like, oh, they didn't actually just walk to your performance. You have to film
Right.
48 hours before, and then
Exactly. Exactly. What's your favorite song to perform and why?
that's a great question. Honestly, it's such a cliche answer because so many people have done this song a gajillion times, but I love playing Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
Partially because it is my grandmother's favorite song,
Uh-huh.
that I sing at least, and she always sings the words to the chorus, which is really nice.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's a song that it's the songwriting in it is like unbelievably amazing. Like the level of complexity. I mean, you could write a book on, I think people probably have, on like dissecting all of the verses and all of the lyrics of that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a masterpiece. So, and it's a beautiful song as well. So I really enjoy playing that one.
Definitely. What's one of your favorite songs to sing, your originals?
Ooh, well, I will make a shameless plug for my song White Lace that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I wrote that song about a guy who I had met maybe 3 or 4 times in person, and then he like brought up getting married, and I was
Oh,
almost 17. I was 16 years old, almost 17,
wow.
and I was just I kind of laughed, and then after he left, I was like, that was so bizarre. I'm gonna write a song about that actually. So I wrote a song about how the lyrics in the chorus are, I don't want to wear white lace, talking about wedding dress. So yeah, it's a fun song, and I think for partially the same reason that I like, Hallelujah and all those other kind of storytelling songs is that it really is more of a narrative,
Yeah.
um, to follow along with. So
Mhm.
yeah, white lace for sure.
White Lace. Yeah, White Lace drops tomorrow. It's Caroline's new single. So, okay, I guess I'm going to have to like go back and talk about this guy. So you stopped talking to him after that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
never heard from again.
That's weird. What, 3 or 4 times you talked to him and he's like, let's get married?
hmm
Oh my gosh. That's not the way to like win someone over. That's very strange and odd.
No, I was like, I'm 16. Let me ask my mom. Like
Oh my gosh.
it was a weird, it was a weird experience, but I got a great song out of it.
You got a good song out of it. Because sometimes life throws you these weird curveballs. But then you're like, oh yeah, it could be a good song. Or even just a part of that situation could be a song. So you never know where the inspiration can come out of.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the beauty of the songwriting process is that you get your inspiration from some weird places sometimes. But
Exactly. What artists or genres of music have you been listening to during quarantine?
oh gosh, quarantine has felt like a time machine, so I don't even know. But um, let's see. I'm trying to think. I've honestly, I've been listening to like a lot of older blues music recently for some reason.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I was listening to, God, I can't remember now. Of course, now is the time that I'm forgetting the specifics of the music I'm listening to, but yeah, I go through weird phases. And I think the beauty of like having all of this music accessible over the internet is that
Mm-hmm.
Spotify like somehow reads my mind and comes up with playlists for me that I really connect with. So, yeah, it's been a lot of music listening over quarantine because there wasn't much else to do and I miss my band. So,
Aw, yeah, I totally get that. Like when I get my Discover Weekly playlist, I'm so excited because I'm like, ooh, who is it now? And then there's all these people on it that I don't know. And then I like look into them and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like I definitely love this.
yeah, yeah, the algorithm really knows my mind at this point. So,
Yeah, it knows me better than some of my friends and family, which I'm totally fine with. It's a little creepy, but like I'm down with it.
yeah.
What song do you wish you wrote and why?
Oh my goodness. You have great questions.
Thank
You,
you.
I feel so underprepared for this. Oh, honestly, I mean, anytime I listen to an Adele song, I
Yeah.
always think to myself, oh, I wish I wrote that. Like all of her albums, pretty much. The lyrics are amazing. And I love her vocal style. Like the belting is something that I really love to do. I'm
Mhm.
not writing in that style though, so I think that's probably why I love her music so much. Is like, oh, damn, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything Adele, she's amazing.
Oh, Adele. So, so, so legendary. Like, what a singer.
Yeah, absolutely. She's an icon.
Mhm. So, in the past year, you've released a bunch of songs Leave My Love, Better Than This, Lights On, Company. How did your creative process change during quarantine?
I mean, it changed, I guess, for the worse because I think one of my favorite parts about like releasing music is connecting with producers and jamming in the studio and trying to figure out new ideas and bouncing off each other. And so for me, it definitely was a growth experience because I did have to learn like, okay, I'm stuck on this section of this song. How do I get out of this? Like, how do I move forward? How do I keep progressing? Instead of relying on someone else to like fix my writer's block or insert their own idea.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I recorded, except for Leave My Love, which I recorded 2 summers ago. I
Mhm.
just like sitting in my room. I have my tiny little mic,
Yeah.
and I just sit on my bed and churn out songs.
Wow.
Good learning experience. Better at using Logic on my computer and stuff, but yeah, a huge shift, a huge shift. It takes a lot of the joy out of it, I think, when you're not able to work with people. But
Yeah, because it was like, okay, everyone's stuck at home. Like, you can't go to studio, you can't see anybody. Like, most of last year, like, I was talking to someone about this yesterday. I was like, we didn't know what was going on during Christmas. Like, we were terrified. It was like, you can't see your friends and family. Like, if you don't live with the person, don't see them.
yeah, yeah. And my mom works for the like she's involved with like the public health department for our county. So like we were completely like I did not step foot in a grocery store for months. Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah, it was. I mean, on one hand, it's great to have music as an outlet because it's such a way to like release frustration or any emotions that you have.
right.
Part of that is being able to like process music as a community and kind of have that communal experience. So to have that taken away was horrible.
Hmm. But it's coming back. Like, we're
Yes.
so, 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 so close. Like, hopefully, well, things are going in the right direction, but hopefully everyone does what they need to do and things will be back to normal, hopefully soon.
I miss live music. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm excited to go out and see everybody and play shows with my band. So,
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Live music. We miss you. Come back, but safely.
yes, safely. Keyword.
So, other than your song that's coming out tomorrow, talk to us about what's coming up next. Do you have any live streams, singles? Talk to us about what's to come with the music.
Yeah, so I have a song coming out tomorrow. I have a song coming out on June 12th called
Mm-hmm.
My Eyes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have a song coming out on my birthday, July
Oh,
21. Woohoo!
yes!
I have a song coming out on my birthday called Dancing in July.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, I'm thinking an EP in the fall. I have lots of plans for what I'm going to do. But I do have a show on July 13th. Um, I haven't heard if it's going to be in person or as a live stream yet. So I'm really fingers crossed that it's in person because I'm vaccinated and ready to get back out there. Um,
Yes. So
yeah.
hopefully we'll hear if this is going to be an in-person live stream or a virtual one relatively soon.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully within the next month we'll see. But yeah, fingers crossed.
So for people that didn't catch it, what's the date of that show?
July 13th.
Okay, July 13th, guys, mark that in your calendars.
Yes.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
It's pretty simple and it's do what you can with what you got. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just a great piece of advice. I mean, for me personally, like I think for everybody, it's like reflecting on, okay, what am I good at? What do I enjoy doing and what can other people? Um, and so do what you can with what you got. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but you can delve into that a little bit.
Yeah, and what you're passionate about, because some people are passionate about cooking or tennis or cars or whatever, and then just lean into that.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about pursuing joy. I think after the pandemic, like that's been reframed for a lot of people of, thinking about, okay, what do I actually want to spend my life doing instead of what am I supposed to be doing?
Exactly.
Yeah. So for me, it's been very clarifying of like, as long as I have music in my life, I will 100% be happy and kind of be set.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's changed a lot of people's thinking, and I think in a positive way.
Hmm. And I love that you know that you're meant to do music. Like this whole quarantine thing just reaffirmed, like, yep, music's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a core. I think it's a core part of all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that are like, actually, I don't like music at all. Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, universal language. It connects all of us. So yeah, it's what I connect to most in my life right now.
Aw, I love that. What advice would you give to other musicians during this quarantine?
Um, I guess play as much as you can.
Hmm.
Take an opportunity to practice and get better and try to evolve as an artist if possible.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to give myself that advice too, so I don't know if I'm in the position to be telling anyone else what to do. But yeah, that's what I've been going with throughout quarantine.
Yeah. So tell everybody in this chat where they can find you, like plug all your social media channels, like where can people find you and follow you?
So everything social media wise, it's all under Caroline Sky. TikTok is Caroline Sky with two Y's because
Mhm.
some username. So um, yeah, but yeah, Caroline Sky with two Y's. Instagram is Caroline Sky. Facebook is Caroline Sky. Everything's on carolinesky.com. So.
Mhm. Awesome. And so for people that are tuned into this right now, how can they support you as a musician, Caroline?
Well, number one is streaming my songs on every streaming platform available. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I have a song coming out tomorrow called White Lace that I've mentioned. And so, yeah, that's the number one thing you can do is please stream my music because I put a lot of time. I think all of us as musicians, we put so much time and effort into like perfecting, to the extent that we can our music, and we really want to get it out there and get it heard. So I
Yeah.
think to have people listening.
And definitely share the music. So if you like music and you have a musician that you're into, independent musician, popular musician, whatever, comment on their stuff, share their music. Don't keep it to yourself. Like, share the
Share the love.
So that's all the questions I have for you this evening, but you're going to perform for us.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Take it away.
All right. Oh, of course my guitar goes out of tune.
No problem.
All right, I'm gonna play, I'll start with a song called My Eyes. It's coming out on June 12th, and then I will close with White Lace, which is coming out tomorrow.
Yay!
All right, so this is called My Eyes. Painkillers like vanilla leave a taste you can't get rid of. Painkillers like vanilla got you craving something sweeter. No, I won't lie to you. You know that, baby. Truth's a drug, and I'm addicted. Maybe won't you take a hit? You might like it. I would love to see what you admit. Painkillers like vanilla leave a taste you can't get rid of. Painkillers like vanilla got you craving something sweeter. You're gonna miss my eyes. You're gonna miss my eyes. Love the way I look at you. Don't lie to me, you know it's true. You're gonna miss my eyes. You already do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You already do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You already do. Do-do-do-do-do. My eyes. Bittersweet. To drink the past like wine. No, no. Get inside as you start to realize that just 'cause it glows don't mean it's gold. Gold. That just 'cause it glows don't mean it's gold. Painkillers like vanilla leave a taste you can't get rid of. Painkillers like vanilla got you craving something sweeter. You're gonna miss my eyes. You're gonna miss my eyes. Love the way I look at you. Don't lie to me, you know it's true. You're gonna miss my eyes. You're gonna miss my eyes. You're gonna miss my. You're gonna miss my. Love the way I look at you. Don't lie to me, you know it's true. You're gonna miss my eyes.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. And what was that one for people who want to know that song? My Eyes.
Out on June 12th.
June 12th. Guys, stay tuned for the release of that.
Yes, put it in your calendars.
Awesome. And the next one?
Yes, this is White Lace, and this is the song that will be coming out tomorrow at midnight. Let me get this right. Midnight Eastern Time, 9 p.m. West Coast. So on all platforms, even if you're listening on Deezer, as I realized, it actually goes out to that platform as well. There's like a gajillion that I didn't even know existed. But yeah, you can listen to music. It'll be on there. I see diamonds in your eyes and moonlight on your mind, bombshells and glass bells, and you and I see highways and ashtrays, Polaroids and lingerie that line down my back in the sunlight on Sunday. But last night you said you were in paradise. You said that I'd look real nice, scarred around my thigh, walking down the aisle. So I figured I needed to shut that shit down. Oh, I don't wanna wear white lace. You're choking me out with it, tying me down. I don't wanna wear white lace. No. Rain at 3 in the morning, your fingertips burning, salted and sweetened and seasoned by storming. I breathe out your breathing, the could haves and has-beens, the thread from these moments you sewed us together with last night. Said you were in paradise. In paradise, said that I'd look real nice, got around my thigh, walking down the aisle. So I figured I needed to shut that shit down. No. I don't wanna wear white lace. You're choking me out with it, tying me down with it. I don't wanna wear white lace. No. And just because I am a little hesitant about the speed at which we're going doesn't mean that I don't want that love someday. I don't feel the spark the same. But this is not a spark for you, it is a fire burning up with your desire. And I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. I'm gonna walk away from last night. You said you were in paradise. Said that I'd look real nice, got around my thigh, walking down the aisle. So I figured I needed to shut that shit down. No. I don't wanna wear white lace. I don't want to wear white. I don't want to wear white lace.
Yay! Oh, that was beautiful. And now when I hear it, I'm going to think of that weird guy.
Yes, absolutely. I that weird guy, sadly, every time I play this.
Wait, what was that line in the song? I needed to shut that shit down. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
love it.
thank you.
I love it.
I shut that shit down. So
You had to. He was crazy. I love it. Guys, if you have any questions for Caroline, feel free to put them in the chat below. Oh, I was going to ask you about American Idol. So you were on American Idol earlier this year. Unfortunately, they didn't put you on TV at all. What the heck?
on TV at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very, I mean, obviously very frustrating experience to be, I mean, because I made it to the top 40. So like I was 4 rounds in. I had a great experience. I was really, really happy with how all of my songs went. Got a ovation from Lionel Richie, and then they just decided not to air me.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's okay. That's how the game goes, and I have nothing but gratitude for that whole experience. So, yeah, I love it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like they have so much footage and they don't know what to do with it, and like it sucks that they did that. But I mean, at least you had that experience. You have some of those photos and videos from it, from the experience, and you know, you were on 2 massive shows. Like the people that wait in those lines to get on those shows, like I talked to a couple people from The Voice. They're like, yeah, I was in the back room and they never called me to go on because all the slots were filled. And I was like, that's crazy because like you're waiting in your hotel for them to call you and they're like, oh, you know, all the teams are filled, like go home.
Yeah, it's really brutal. It's a gamble every time. So
Yeah.
I got lucky on The Voice, and this time I didn't get as lucky, but that's okay. And you know, showbiz. There was like 60 people that made it to Hollywood Week, and they showed probably 50 people. So
yeah,
it's the numbers thing, but it's all good. On to the next.
Yeah, and it's a TV thing too, because it's like they only show like a very small percentage of like some people's songs. Sometimes they only show like maybe 5 or 6 seconds of someone's song. And it's like, that's not cool.
Little time for any of the music.
Exactly.
All about like the process and following specific people's stories, but you know, I saw like jaw-dropping standing ovation performances that they didn't air. So like I was like, oh my God, I love that performance. I want to hear it, and then they didn't air it. So
and the thing is, when you're on a show like that, as you know, you're able to reach so many other people because then someone's like, oh my God, I saw your performance on The Voice or I saw you on American Idol. And because you're in televisions all across the country, all across the world. And then it's like, that's the exposure that you ultimately want is someone in every area of the country to say like, yeah, I saw you on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They have such a wide reach. Like those shows do really well all over the world. So it's cool to have been a part of it for a little.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going up and looking at some of these questions. What instrument would you like to learn next?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. So I play guitar and piano, and I'm like solid on those instruments. I know ukulele. I'm working on the bass right now, and I recently got a mandolin, so I've been playing the mandolin, which is really hard.
Yeah.
Dang, I mean, I think it would be really cool to be able to play the violin. I did it when I was a kid, but my mom forced me to go to lessons, but I think people that can play like those beautiful bowed instruments, like that's such a skill. So
yeah,
I don't know if I'll get there anytime, but yeah, in my dreams, I would love to be able to play.
What country would you like to go to next?
So I actually have a little bit of a plan for this. After I graduate college, there's a company called So Far Sounds that does like little intimate house concerts and venues and stuff. And I've played a couple shows for them in New York. I would love, after I graduate, to just do a huge, I don't even know what countries I would go to again or first time, but I want to do a huge like house concert tour, basically.
That'd be awesome.
I definitely want to go to Ireland. I'm actually an Irish citizen, but I've only been once. To Ireland because they have great storytelling music there. Yeah, I'd love to go to Ireland. I'd love to go to Greece. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God, where wouldn't I love to go? We're in a pandemic. I want to go anywhere.
Yeah, I just want to leave my house. What concert do you want to go to next?
Again, all of them.
Yeah,
All of them. Oh God. Yeah, it's really like, what concert do I not want to go to?
exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to save my money to do like, I really think music festivals are great because you get a bunch of different concerts for kind of the price of
Yep.
one-ish.
Yep.
So I would love to go to Outside Lands next year, which is in San Francisco. I would love to be able to go to Coachella, but that's really, really expensive right now. So we'll see. We'll see. But any live music, I would go down, down to see the, 65-year-old dude playing at the coffee shop. I love that.
Yeah. Just anything, just to see somebody in real life and be like, oh my gosh, you're a musician? Awesome.
Yes, I'm excited to get back out there and go to lots of different concerts.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Where do you see your career in 5 years?
That's a great question. Ideally, I would love to be touring. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a super, top goal of mine.
Yeah.
Um, but, we'll see where life takes me. I think this past year has proven to all of us, none of us have any idea what's going to happen next. So,
Yeah.
um, hopefully the what's going to happen next is in the good direction, not the like, oh, we're in a global pandemic type of deal. But uh,
Yes.
yeah, wherever life takes me next, I'm excited to go to that place.
Yes. I see lots of new music coming. I see a tour coming. I
Yes.
see playing festivals because I think festivals are so awesome for that because, right, they're like 3-day festivals and most of the bigger acts are on at night, right? But if you go at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you see all these people that maybe you don't know, and you're like, oh my gosh, this person's really awesome.
Yeah, I got to meet a couple of really cool musicians from this band Lawrence.
Hmm.
They're big, relatively big recently,
Hmm.
and got to hang out with them backstage because they were a small little band at the time with 2,000 Instagram followers, and now they're at like 100,000, and they were touring with God, of course I'm forgetting his name. They were touring with a really major act and going
Yeah.
all over. So it's a great place to catch up and coming acts, which is why I would love to get booked at Outside Lands because that would be an awesome experience for
Yeah,
sure.
so amazing. And you write it down and you like put it on your dresser and you look at it and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
you
you have to manifest it.
you manifest it because like when you write stuff down and like you say it into your mirror, I know it like sounds kind of weird, but like if you like say it a couple times in your mirror, like it's gonna happen because you yeah, because you put it out there and like it might feel a little weird doing it, but it's gonna happen.
Strategy, and it can't hurt. It can only it can only help.
Exactly. So do you have any final words for the room, Caroline?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Ashley. Such a great experience to come to talk to you.
Yeah.
Um, And then, yeah, I have my song White Lace is coming tomorrow. You can pre-save it using the link in my bio. Um, and yeah, it'll be available on all streaming platforms. It's called White Lace. I would really love if everyone would take a listen and share if you like it. I worked really hard on this song. And yeah, it's been a couple years in the making from a very weird conversation about child marriage. So yeah.
Yeah, which is so crazy because like now hearing the story and hearing the song and being like, that guy's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we're very like clear on that concept now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's very strange. But guess what? A great song came out of it. So there's always some kind of weird story behind these great songs. You know what I mean?
yeah, there has to be a bright side. There has to be a bright side to all of these horrible experiences. You can make a fun song.
I love it. Guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow Caroline. White Lace comes out tomorrow on all streaming platforms. She has tons of great music coming up the rest of the year. So please make sure to follow her and make sure to follow me. I'm Ashley Live. This is Vibin with Ashley Live. And I have incredible musicians just like Caroline on all the time. Caroline, thank you so much for spending your evening with us. And thank you guys for joining us. Have a great night and be safe.
Thanks, Ashley. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.